I grew up in Detroit.
Okay.
And in Detroit, things like growing up and being a writer or an artist, it's not what you did. You had a job you hated by day. At night and on the weekends, you'd make art. Read my books and like it. Kids. I mean, kids who don't need things to fly, or, you know, kids, they're all realism. And they're all contemporary realism. So it's kids that are trying to make sense of the world that we live in now, and kids who aren't, you know, who don't need it to be. As far as, you know, I've been alive for 55 years, and it doesn't look like things work out for the best all the time, so far as I can tell.
Okay.
And so I'm not sure why it's such a great idea to keep telling kids that it always does, that good triumphs over evil, that cheating gets caught and is bad. It's like, what? How about, you know, life is really good, even though it's full of shit. You know, that things can be really, really bad, and it's still good. The Girls is about the whole book just takes place on like a weekend. It's a group of girls. They each tell their side of the story. It's a powerful girl, and the other girls in the little clique, and one gets thrown out. She didn't see it coming. She's thrown out, and she gets to tell her story. And it's the book I have that's been translated into the most languages and sells the most because it's a situation that every single girl in the world has been in, either as the thrower or the throwee or the one who sits around and watches their friends get thrown out and doesn't know why. And it doesn't shake any fingers. It's just a story of how it plays out. Poison Ivy is a classroom courtroom story where a teacher who's a little bit full of shit decides to have a mock trial and wants to have it about something that the kids really have experienced. It's a classroom courtroom. So the kids are lawyers, and it all sort of human nature at odds with the legal system. The cheat. And the cheat is some kids who cheated on a geography test in middle school, I think, and just sort of the repercussions for each of them. It's very different. Some get in trouble, some don't, and how it plays out, and who do you tell on, and side effects is a cancer survivor story. The idea being, this is based on when my daughter had cancer at 14, and it turned out that most books, as well as movies, as soon as anybody has cancer, they give 2 coughs and they're dead. And, you know, I don't fault the writers that write cancer stories where people die, because it's hard to resist a tearjerker. But most kids who get cancer don't die. And if it happens to be your kid who has cancer and her friends and stuff, you don't want to give her a book where the kid croaks. So I said, okay, so we need a funny cancer book that deals with what it's really like to deal with chemo and stuff, and that it's plenty bad enough without killing the kid to boot. The way to keep your work honest is to picture yourself at that age and not wanting to embarrass yourself in front of that kid more than anything else. You know, like, what if you wrote this book and you hand it to yourself at 12 and you go, that's what you did with my life? Do you want some ice cream? I'm only 16, I got a ruptured spleen, and I always carry a purse. I'm blind as a bat, and my feet are flat, and my asthma's getting worse. No, there's nothing else I want to say. And I don't think you're going to be able to get a video out of it.